And what anchors into this sacred space, upon this holy ground, and as we think that we are on the sacred ground of our sacred planet, our sacred Gaia, we are upon the surface of her loving embrace, her nurturing, her loving kindness, allowing sentient beings to experience the myriad of facets of evolution, exploration, and creation. In its totality. And there is such a deep connection, more beyond what one would imagine or even know. The connection of the earth and that of the inner earth. And so we breathe now with intention, understanding that we are upon holy ground, sacred ground, no abiding connection to the earth, but also more aware of the intricacies of dynamics
that each footprint has upon the earth, and how it ripples through various streams of consciousness, a divine and sacred entanglement, and we through the ever expanded multiplicity of interweaving dynamics. And so we invite you, beloveds, starting with the sacred knowledge of the sacred earth, her children reawakening to their higher cosmic calling. And so we simply allow the Shalometh Shalom to grace each and every one here in this circle of light as her divine guardians, the guardians of the earth, from the angelics that dwell within her crystal core, to the radiant ones that move and have their being within the mighty oceans, to the civilizations within and through the earth, now coming into a unified field with those upon the earth, bringing awareness and consciousness once again that as we move beyond the earth into our solar system, our own logi, into the suns behind the suns, beyond Alcyon, beyond Andromeda, beyond Arcturus, there is the great sun within the sun, within the sun of the earth. And it is this sun that we now bring our attention and intention to. And as you are so aware of your presence upon the earth, as you now feel her love coming to you, and it ignites the love that you have for her, for beloveds, this is why each and every one of you are here. There are many intricacies, purposes, and reasons, but there is one core, and that one core reason is for your sacred mother. It's for your sacred earth. For you have come here as the divine guardians and work in tandem with those who work with her in the various realms and expressions. And there is a calling now, in this moment, in this eternal now, for restructuring and reconstitution of the inner earth, a reconnection and strengthening of the streams of consciousness that you are connected to and connects to you within and around the earth. And even as you hold the highest celestial realms of light as great sentinels and beacons of light, you also are the way shower, the bridge, the connectors to the consciousness within the earth on her. And it is meet in this higher frequency of service, unconditional love, the compassionate heart unites us all. Let us breathe together in this sacred rhythm of the earth. Let us sing her song upon the earth who have not forgotten. And as we sing our song of love and service and ascension, ever steady, ever purposeful, as we embrace her with our love, as she has embraced us, and with each and every holy, sacred in-breath and to those of us who have always been here, to those of us who have held the light. Feel our beaming, our loving, in this time of cycles of time, to bring forth once again the divine renewal and genesis. As a new world unfolds in its totality of all its diversity, bringing once again the symbiotic relationship of all consciousness, of all life forms, working in tandem for the greater good. So we breathe this collective breath together, and in doing so, we are reuniting once again the grander vision, the holistic restructuring, embracing the totality of the original thought and the streams of creations in and around the sacred earth, in the re-remembering of her magnificence and her brilliance and her love. And so there is the grand calling once again to now weave the totality of all of her children, of all of her life forms, in all expressions and in all levels, to reunite, to re-remember, and to expand the divine collective into its totality, embracing her as she has embraced the myriad of life forms that have come to her. And in this divine collective in-breath and out-breath, let us now sink deeply into her heart, that crystal core that produces all of the kingdoms to live and thrive, all of the elements to be expressed. And as we are upon her sacred ground, there is a calling from her sacred guardians of the inner core, a calling to reconnect. And so we find ourselves steady by the shalom shalom, the peace that we are radiant ones of the angelics, harbingers of good news. And they embrace us. And we can feel and sense and know the loving peace that they bring us. And so we are steady, we are balanced, and we are in the radiance of divine peace. And we relish these moments together, this unshakable peace, reactivating, remembering the homeostasis of this experience, a constant within many worlds. And it is this that we bring. This is so we bring our physical, mental, and emotional essence, frequency, and we move it down down into our feet, and it attaches to the various root systems of the plant kingdom. And by simply having this reconnection with the root system of the plant kingdom that has its own network of communication, it sends forth our energy, our frequency, and our intention to connect more deeply, more profoundly with the plant kingdom, that our own meridians, like roots of a tree, intermingle with the roots of the plant kingdom, and we merge as one. And in this merging, there is the reconnection of the communication between the plant kingdom and the human kingdom. And we come bringing forth the higher light, bringing forth the memory, conditional love, and we heal through the root system, the plant kingdom. We acknowledge the plant kingdom, all that it has done and continues to do to support life upon the sacred earth. And we merge through the roots within our own meridians in the remembering of our connection to the plant kingdom and the plant kingdom to us. And we continue to move towards the inner core of our sacred earth. And as we do, of all colors, in all shapes and geometries. And we think of our own skeletal system that draws from the same carbon, our relationship, and to the mineral kingdom. We thank the divine codes it holds and the memories. And we merge with the mineral kingdom, reconnecting once again, more clearly, more specifically. And as we journey in our consciousness, as we breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath, Divine Mother, the divine commitment, partnerships, and communion, that she assists us in the re-remembering and our connection to her in guidance. And we feel her, we sense her, and our lines of communication declog and are once again re-established and clear, that every footprint upon her is a message, and a message of love, a message of guidance, a message of healing. For we are ready to no longer be unconscious, but fully conscious. And we are ready to step into our deeper service for her. And finally, we move into her crystal core. And as we are there, we see her great guardians that have held her through the ages, the great sentinels of light, the angelics who have kept her and moved her. And we have arrived in this great and grand temple of crystals. In the radiance of these beings that hold her four corners. And in the middle we see a white pyramidal structure, and upon it is a great sun. We simply remember this divine geometry of a great sphere of light upon the apex of this pyramidal structure, held the four corners of these angelic beings. And there is for us to move within this pyramidal structure with the sun on top of it. And as we begin to move in, we come into a temple of light, brilliant beyond measure. Its beauty beyond measure. And we are aware that we are not alone, for there are others who are here, and they have been waiting for us within the pyramidal structure and grand sense of reunion. And so we simply be, breathe in, and treasure each moment of this grand reunion with the radiant ones that we look at and realize they look at us as radiant ones. And in this temple of inner light, there is a sacred and divine commitment. And in that commitment, we are given the tools for our own physical bodies. As we look at these radiant ones who have held the codes for so long, who have been the inner guardians of the sacred earth, who now pass on a sacred key to us. A key is handed to you. It is a golden, brilliant key. It has the codes for your own inner workings, as well for codes to use as you walk your path of service on behalf of the sacred earth. We receive these keys and choose to take them. And as we assist and heal the earth, we too are assisted and healed. For there's always a symbiotic relationship. And we just wait in gratefulness and remembrance and reunion and reconnection. And exchange this grace being bestowed, this divine memory, and this blessing. We understand that this key we have received has not been given lightly. It has been given to those who walk on their path, even in the midst of challenges, even in the midst of distortions and distractions. But it is that something that keeps them moving nonetheless. And so this key has been given to know of your connection to the earth, who reside within the earth, all of her kingdoms. This reconnection has been seeded, and it is a tool to be used as you walk upon the earth, always mindful of your connection to the inner sun of the inner earth. And now The return has come. And in that moment, all know. And so the most radiant ones, the connections reestablished and strengthened, their electromagnetic field as we move out of the temple and out of the pyramidal structure. Once again, we gaze at it with the sun upon it. Once again, the radiant angelics and the guardians of the earth's inner core. And we move back towards the surface of the earth, passing through the great crystals and root systems. And we are back upon the earth. We choose in these moments here now to integrate and process this experience so that every time we walk upon the earth or see a flower, see the sun, see a crystal, we are reminded of our place upon the earth and who we are connected to. And now we know there is much to do, and so we prepare ourselves to be back, awake and alert, knowing that we have been strengthened by this blessing, that the very bone structures have been strengthened in our bodies, that our circulatory system and meridians are aligned and recalibrated with the higher light, that our memories are reactivated, intuitions sharpened, guidance more clear. With grateful hearts, we hold and embrace the gift of this key with the deepest understanding of our part and role in the earth's healing and ascension. And as she heals, we heal. And as we heal, she heals. Our aspirations always lofty. Our heart holding compassion and unconditional love. And our light brilliant. And so now we find ourselves more readily back into our physical, mental, and emotional bodies. We breathe in intention to be back and awake and alert and grounded. And on the count of 3, we will be back, awake, alert, and grounded. Forever changed. 1, 2, take a very deep breath in. And 3, we are back, awake, alert, and we are grounded.